Hi everybody, Cindy Martin here, and I wanted to show you the new virtual classroom that I have set up for you. These are templates, but I have one example of how you can set yours up through Google Slides that I'm going to share with you. Okay, so the first slide, this is for your classroom headquarters. Basically, it's your main area where your class will meet. It starts off with a good morning message, today's date, today's schedule. So over here, as soon as a student does their morning move or reading assignment, they can drag these over and check each one of these off as they go. And what I want you to do is get the students used to coming in here whenever they need to move items, but they need to go to present mode in order to use the slides where they can actually click on things. Let me move this over. Okay, so the first one is the morning move. The students will click on this. First thing I have set up is some moving with Jack Hartman, one of my favorites. And all students have to do is click on this. And when you have your blank templates, you can use any YouTube video that you want and insert it into your blank template. All right, so they would click to play. First, they could read this. It says listen and participate with the song. Then click the home button to go to your next lesson. This is something you would type in. Students would go and they would play this. They could either play it right here, or they could click the YouTube and it would take them to YouTube if you wanted them to do that. When they're done with this, they can go click their home button and it brings them back here. Then they could go they could check off they already did one, but they have to get out of present mode. And how they do that is by clicking the exit button. Then they click, drag it over, present again. Now they're going to go to reading. In reading, they're going to read this book. Same thing with the video. They just listen.
I'm Miss Mass. Today, we are going to read
and it tells them to listen to the story and then take a quiz. So I already made a quiz. I inserted it in here. You will get this demo with the blank templates also, so that you still have something to go by, so you know how to set up yours. This would also serve well if you are absent maybe, and you could just use this for a substitute. So the student would put their name in, and then they've got points set up for 20 points for each question. What does the mouse eat? And they'd have to go through and answer the questions. A little essay one at the bottom, submit. Exit out of there. And after they did that, they could click their home button again and put their check mark if they wanted to for reading, and then we're going to go to writing. Now writing's a little different because I have it set up with a writing paper. So let me show you. Up here it says click here to write a narrative story about an exciting experience. Of course you can change this to say anything you want it to say. The only thing you can't change are the images. So the student would click here and it takes them to this slide, which is writing time. It says edit here, please click exit out of present mode to edit. So the student would have to go and exit. And then they're at the slide, and over here is where they can start putting their name in and they can write the narrative that we talked about. They can also check off, did they use capital letters? Did they use punctuation? Did they do spaces? Okay. Then when they're ready, they go back to present mode and click on the home button, and they already did writing, so now it's time for math. Word problems. Click here. Here they have some word problems they have to solve. They go through, they explain their answers. There's only 2 on this one. You could make more if you wanted to. And then they can submit it to you for a grade easily through Google Classroom. Bonus, on your own paper, write an additional word problem. Show your work, then solve the answer. Take a photo of your paper and send it to me. And they can send it however they want to. If they want to scan it, take a photo, whatever. Click back to the home button, and then they have science. This science lesson has a video to watch, and after they watch the video, they're supposed to write some information about fossils and rocks on their own paper and send you a copy. Of course, you can do anything that you can imagine. All right, social studies. click here to play a game. So I set up a game online down here, and they would play it. They enter their name. Let's see, I'm just gonna do that, and they start, and they'd have to drag over the pieces and see if they can do it in time, and then exit out of there. And then it says, draw me a picture of our continent and place a star at the state that you live in and label the state and the name of the continent. Color, send me a copy of your work. Art class. Click here. They have an art lesson with Tommy DePaulo, one of his books. And then they listen to the story, draw or paint a picture of your house. Be ready to share the next time that we have a Zoom meeting or however you're meeting with your students. Then we have one for music, dance, and freeze. This is just an example of what you could do. Of course, you can have a whole lesson in there that you've pre-taped yourself of you teaching. Go back to the home. PE. So this is what the PE one looks like. You could go in and have them doing where they're actually getting up in the living room and moving around. Or if you're in the classroom, this would work here too. Okay. And this tells you stand up, make sure you have room before you start the video, wash your hands, get some water. If you don't have a lot of space, just jog in place. And then where are we now? Centers. All right, so I said, if you notice, let me go back here real quick. Centers, it says choose one today. So you click here and kids can look and go comprehension, sight word sort, ABC order. I'm going to choose the ABC order one. And that takes them to this slide. And this slide, they're going to have to exit in order to do the movable parts again. This, they edit. Okay, so they would have to read the words below right here, and the ones that have 2 letters would go in this row, 3 letters in this row, and so on. Okay, and then go back to present mode. Okay, and then this is another one, another center that they could do. This one also, they would have to exit in order to move those parts around. And this is the third one, reading comprehension. If they can't read well, this one will read it for you. First, you're gonna read the story 3 times. And they'll read the story 3 times. They will, every time they read, they have to drag the heart over. They have to drag these over to find the word family words and then answer the questions and drag these over to finish the sentence. Okay, so let's go back to, let's see, if I go back into present mode, they did their centers. They would check off that they went to a center, and now they're going to the library, and they can pick a book that they want to read. I love these stories with the celebrities.
Online, brought to you by the Screen Actors Guild Foundation.
Okay, so you can put whatever books you want in there. Go back to home, they check off their library, and then take a brain break. And you can tell students, hey, you can take a brain break anytime you want if they're doing virtual learning without you there and they need a little brain break. They click here and shake break with Jack Hartman. Okay, so these are important too, and then exit that. And I think they did everything, right? Let me go back to present mode so I can go to the first slide. We'll go to the first slide. Yep, take a brain break when needed. And it's super easy for you guys to be able to come in here and edit and add whatever you want, change your schedule every single day. These are, I have these labeled permanently, and then they have a little overlay that directs them to go to the right slide. So on the blank template, you can add any kind of title to these books, to the bookshelf that you want, and then change these. You could add your Bitmoji if you've got one, or a picture of you with a cartoon body, whatever, on here in the front. Or you could even do a video of yourself and insert that in here to tell kids what to do during the day. All right, I think I showed you that these are very simple. All you have to do if you want to insert a video, go to video, and you can find whatever YouTube link, like, let's see. So say I wanted Jack Hartman in there, I would paste that in there, search, and then click this, and you would add it, and then it would add it to your slide. Of course, if you wanted to have more than one video for your students to do. If you didn't want it, just delete. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, so down here I have a button, a home button on every single slide. You have to add your own circle and make it transparent, and then just hover it over, and you can tell it which slide you want it to go to. I have these preset in the demo, which you're more than welcome to use, or you can set it all up on your own template. All of these, you can, like I said, you can't move any of the clip art in the back, but you can change and edit all of the stuff on the chalkboards. There you go. Like, you can't move these around, all right? But you can change that to go somewhere else. And this. So say if you wanted to skip social studies that day, you didn't want to do it because it's an early release day or something, you could just go to the social studies slide and delete that, and then tell this to go to slide number, instead of the first slide, you could tell it just to skip it whenever you write your daily schedule. I'm not in present mode, that's why. Okay. Boop. So you could change it up here and just take that off, and then you don't need that slide. Maybe you only teach PE, so you only want to use the PE slide. So this would be your homeroom, and then you would take everybody to PE. And you could just use this as your PE and add any image or any videos or any assignments you want. All right, I hope that helps you, and I hope you all have a great year.